Okay, so now let's say inevitably you're going to want to add a domain to your account. You're going to want to actually have a real domain name up there that people can visit and browse and see whatever it is you've made. So I'm going to assume you're logged into your DigitalOcean account. And okay, so here I'm at a droplet. I can see the name of it. I'll click Add Domain. You can see I've already got one here. So I'm going to add this new domain, universityofphp.com. Okay, and we're going to add that one. And it should go pretty quickly. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're also going to add a Cname. And what we'll do is we will put in this asterisk. And essentially, let's say someone, what I'm doing now is essentially I'm accounting for the fact that some people will type in www.universityofphp.com. That's the domain I'm setting up. Some of them actually will type in 4 W's. Some of them won't type in any W's. And so you need to make sure that all of these things will go to your domain. Now this isn't the last step. Again, this is not the last step. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over here. Why not make this a little bigger so we can look at all these things? And I'm going to go over here just one moment. Whoops, just one second if you can bear with me. Oh, okay. All right. So what we need to do is what we need to do, we log into our server and we are going to modify we're going to modify what's called a virtual host file. And we can create and this is how we set up a domain, okay? And on our server, we can have as many of them as we want. And there are ways of automating this, but before you know how to do it in a detailed step-by-step manner, you're not going to be able to do it in an automated manner. I mean, usually you can create a shell script and have it linked up to a user interface, blah, 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 do all that, which is great. But first, let's just go by step. And once you are able to do this, you won't regret it, and you need to know it. This is one of those things you really need to know. Okay, I'm going to make a directory. Is the first step. Okay, easy enough. And this, of course, is your domain name. But this right here is just where I'm going to put my files that people are going to visit. I'm going to put my index file, I'm going to put my graphics, all the different stuff that people are going to visit when they go to my website. Now I need to change the permissions such that everything that needs to happen with my website can happen. Okay, so now the next thing that's a little bit weird, we are going to copy a default configuration file into each one of these domains that you create needs to have a configuration file. Now don't get intimidated by this line of code. It's really not that tough. It's not that difficult to understand. So this CP, oh, by the way, this mkdir, that makes a directory, chmod, that will modify some permissions, the access to it. Now CP will copy. We're going to copy a default configuration file that is provided on Ubuntu that will naturally automatically be there in this directory, etc Apache 2 sites available 000-configuration, and we're going to copy it over, okay, into this new location and file, which starts with right here, and it's going to be blah, 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 sites available universityofphp.com.conf. So essentially I'm taking this default, these are named .conf as a configuration file, and Apache needs that now, and I am changing its name by changing the end right here, universityofphp.conf. Okay, and now I'm going to modify that. All right, and we can have tons of those. You can have as many as you want. You can have as many of those things as you want, depending on how many sites you have. All right, so now we're going to edit it with the Nano program. Okay, now what we want to do is, you can see, okay, here this document root is particularly important. That is where you're going to put all of your files. All right, so we're going to take these two lines and we're going to replace them well, I'm going to do this. Excuse me. I'm going to go out of there. I'm going to do that over. Oopsie daisy. Okay. All right. So we're going to go over here and server admin. We could just put in Robert at universityofphp.com. Now, for this one, I like to name these things the same name as my actual domain. It just, I find it a lot easier to remember. That's our document root. Remember, that is where we're going to put all our HTML files, our CSS files, etc. Now, do you remember how we created the Cname? Do you remember the Cname? Well, that one, what we have here, that is what this server alias is. That will essentially, that's the same thing, really. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm kind of I'm trying to do. Okay. I think we are at a simple enough point in this process where me being a little scatterbrained isn't going to be the end of the world. At any rate, okay, so we'll put that back in. Server alias. And this relates again to that Cname configuration that we just did in the DigitalOcean graphical user interface. Okay, now, so we can save it by hitting Control X, yes, Enter. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to enable this site in Apache, and we do that with this command, a2 insite. Okay, and now the next thing we want to do is we want to disable that default configuration file, right? We want to disable that. And what we're going to do then is we're going to restart Apache. Okay, we're going to restart Apache. And let's see here. Oh, well, all right, so good. Look, there we are. We're at University of PHP. Now, let's say we wanted to, now we want to go in there and let's put some HTML in there. Okay, there's nothing in there. So we use Nano. Nano will automatically create a file if it doesn't exist. Okay, so we will create a PHP file. Whoopsie daisy. I forgot if I need to use echo. Just a sec. I don't think I do. So essentially what this command is going to do is it is going to, what this is going to do, good, it worked. Okay, so that the file I just created that with the command php info, that method, that function, essentially what it does is it spits out all the information about the particular PHP interpreter that you have going, and so that's what is here. But we could do anything, you know, you could put anything in there. So okay, that one's working now. What if we put in that? See, look at that, yay. We should be in the same place. Yes, we are, good. All right, so if a user goes and types in something funny like that, there's 4 W's, and that still works. But it's kind of silly to have 4 W's there. Okay, so next, we can install a free SSL certificate. That'll be in the next video. To make it more secure, we want people visiting a website that, you know, where they type in HTTPS, right? So that it's secure sockets layer. Okay.